Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now we are seeing new Bitcoin signals form on the chart at the same time as new Bitcoin short positions are opening back up again. This will be important for Bitcoin holders to pay attention to, so I will be covering it in just a moment. But first, let's take a look at the 4-hour Bitcoin chart. And obviously, you can see that over the past one day, this bullish divergence that I talked about yesterday is playing out quite nicely so far. And to be completely honest, this sort of outcome from a bullish divergence on the 4-hour chart is a somewhat substantial outcome, especially when you're comparing it to recent bullish divergences that we have seen over the past 1 to 2 weeks. So honestly, I would not be expecting more bullish price action based on this bullish divergence. Instead, if we do end up forming some more bullish price action, it's because of some other signals that I'll talk about in just a moment. And if we're zooming out a little bit further on the 4-hour chart, this price action that we've seen just recently over the past few days strongly reminds me of this price action that we saw almost exactly 1 month ago. First of all, at the start of both of these scenarios, we had a significant bearish move. And then if you're looking at the price action 1 month ago, we formed a bullish divergence back then on the 4-hour chart. And that final dip to the downside, the lower low, was a very volatile price movement. We had a sharp move to the downside followed by a very quick move back to the upside. And that's very similar to what we've seen over the past couple days. And right after that sharp move to the upside, we saw a substantial candle wick followed by a very small amount of red and then some more short-term bullish price action, while the RSI during that entire time period remained in an uptrend here on the 4-hour chart. And we are simply seeing the same things on the Bitcoin chart right now as what we were seeing around a month ago. In fact, if I actually copy that Bitcoin price action and overlay it on top of the current Bitcoin price action, this just further confirms how similar the price action has been recently to what we saw around a month ago. So what does this mean for Bitcoin? Well, first of all, I want to make it clear that nothing is guaranteed, but if Bitcoin truly is in a similar situation as what we were in around a month ago, then after seeing this short-term bullish price action that we're basically playing out right now, we could then perhaps play out another shorter term dip, followed by some more bullish price action later on, especially if the Bitcoin RSI on the 4-hour chart remains in an uptrend like what we saw back here. And another similarity between the current Bitcoin price action and what we saw a month ago is the type of signals that we are seeing on the 12-hour Bitcoin chart. First of all, looking at the 12-hour parabolic stop and reverse indicator, currently we are sitting in the green, but from time to time, we do see the occasional false signal in this indicator. So to help combat these false bullish signals, we also need to be looking in the price oscillators, because as I have been saying for a while now, we need to look for confluence on the chart. So if we see just one bullish signal on the chart, that isn't really enough to see a full bullish reversal. Instead, we need to see more confirmation. So I'm talking about other indicators flipping more bullish. And if you're looking at that previous false bullish signal in the parabolic stop and reverse indicator, at that same time, both the RSI and the MACD were in a shorter term downtrend, which is basically two bearish signals against one bullish signal. But what we are seeing right now is all three of these indicators possibly lining up in the bullish direction. In fact, we have already confirmed the bullish signal in the parabolic stop and reverse indicator and the uptrend in the 12-hour Bitcoin RSI, because for the complete beginners out there, an uptrend is when we see higher highs and higher lows, and that is exactly what the 12-hour RSI has been forming over the past few days. But there is still one of these bullish signals that is yet to be confirmed, and that is the bullish cross in the 12-hour MACD. At the time of recording this video, we are currently forming a bullish cross, but in order to confirm that bullish cross in the 12-hour MACD, we need to see at least one 12-hour candle close, but ideally another one after that, so two 12-hour candle closes, just as extra confirmation of this possible bullish cross that is forming right now. So if the Bitcoin price can sustain these levels for just one more day, then in that case, we would potentially confirm this bullish cross in the 12-hour MACD. We've already seen the uptrend starting to form in the 12-hour RSI, and we've already got the green in the parabolic stop and reverse indicator. And just a reminder, if you are new to this channel, the last time that we saw all three of these indicators line up in the bullish direction was around a month ago, and that was basically the start of a shorter term uptrend that lasted for the next couple weeks. Now, talking about some important Bitcoin levels to watch, our levels of resistance are mainly around 40,000 US dollars and 45,000. And after the Bitcoin price reclaimed that $37,000 level, this is now acting as support again. And in fact, if you're looking at the daily candle closes, we have continued to find perfect support at 37,000. So that drop below 30,000 that we saw around a day ago was only a wick down towards around 35,000, where we also found support as expected. And anything below the 35k support level, we've got 33,000 and 29,000 as strong support as well. Now taking a quick look in the Bitcoin order books across all of these exchanges, and nothing too significant is happening at the moment other than a sell wall coming in at around 40.3k. And we've also got a decent amount of sell orders at around 40,000. So So basically in between 40,000 and 40,500 is a decent amount of selling pressure for Bitcoin, to say the least, and sell orders like that at a higher price level is exactly what resistance is, because in order to push the Bitcoin price above those levels, we basically need to buy through all of those sell orders. And speaking of sell orders, there's currently a lot of traders in the market wanting to open new Bitcoin short positions. This indicator right here is the percentage of Bitcoin short positions on the Binance exchange, and this indicator right here is the percentage of Bitcoin short positions on the Bybit exchange. And only over the past few days, we've seen an increase in Bitcoin short positions relative to long positions on these two exchanges. And right now, at the time of recording this video, this is continuing to be the case, especially on the Binance exchange. And now giving you a quick update on what's happening in the stock market. This is the S&P 500 index on the daily time frame. And surprisingly, ever since the bad news came out about Russia and Ukraine around a day ago, the stock market, for example, the S&P 500 index, has pretty much done nothing but pump back to the upside. But for those of you that watched my last update video that I posted yesterday on the channel, then you would have known about this bullish divergence forming on the daily S&P 500 chart. And obviously a bullish divergence is bullish for the price. And by the way, the last time we saw a daily bullish divergence in the S&P 500 was at the end of the September correction, just before we entered into October's price action. But it is important to mention that I do not expect the exact same outcome as what we saw back in October, especially because there's a lot of different things currently happening in the world that were not happening back then. So honestly, if the S&P 500 just closes today above this importance level, coming in at around 4290, then for any of the bulls out there, you should definitely be happy with that, because it is very important that the S&P 500 reclaims these support levels, and also a daily candle close above those levels would mean a strong finish to the week, which would further confirm this daily bullish divergence. And looking on the Nasdaq 100 index, we're basically seeing the exact same thing right now as what I just discussed on the S&P 500 index. And because of the short-term bullish price action that we have just been playing out in the markets, that has resulted in the US dollar currency index getting a massive rejection from this important line of resistance. And for the beginners out there, this is actually a good signal for Bitcoin against the US dollar, because while the US dollar currency index remains in this larger uptrend, then it would be very difficult for Bitcoin to start a much larger uptrend. But on the flip side, if this now turns into a downtrend in the US dollar currency index after seeing this massive bearish divergence and a rejection from this line of resistance, then in that case, it would be much easier for Bitcoin and really the overall financial markets to flip much more bullish again if they are valued against the US dollar. And an example of that happening was the second half of 2020 leading into the first half of 2021. And while the US dollar currency index was in a major downtrend during that time period, the Bitcoin price was pumping from around 10,000 to above 60,000. So that is seriously how important this chart can be for us Bitcoin holders. Anyway, if you found this video useful, please make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. And before you click off, if you want to make more money in the crypto markets, whether or not prices are going up or down, these two videos popping up right here are definitely for you. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.